People tell me that the best episodes of the podcast, Political QRM, that I do with Amory are the best ones where I lose just a little bit of my temper. I don't know if that's true or not, but everybody does seem to enjoy cranking me up, that's for sure. But it doesn't take much, does it? I put this off for a little while anyway because I didn't want to get ratcheted up too much too quickly. The other night we had the worst terrorist attack on American soil since 9/11. 50-odd people were decimated, and another 50-odd people were injured by another Islamic extremist. Now, some people are saying, well, it's not that simple because, it was a gay nightclub and he had been there before and he may have been gay himself and couldn't be out as gay because of the way gays are treated in this country. Well, I have issue with that. Because his family came here from Afghanistan. Do you have any idea how they're treated over there? If he thinks this is oppression? Or Saudi Arabia, our quote-unquote ally? Or any of the other Arab nations? Which really drives me crazy because isn't sex with underage boys something that's not frowned upon? And how come anytime they take people like the 4 Americans who were killed in Benghazi and they set them on fire and they drag them behind a car and they hang them from a bridge and all this other stuff, but they always say, and they were sodomized. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the reason for all this violence with the Islamic extremists. Maybe it's because they're all gay and they can't handle it. Well, I'm sorry if that's the case, because I got news for you. I know a lot of gay people, and with the exception of some of them that are walking around carrying a badge and a gun, or the ones that are carrying a rifle and a helmet, most of them wouldn't hurt anybody unless you threatened them and theirs. I got a hoot when I saw the fact that the numbers for Trump are taking a bump in the gay community, the LGBT community. Good, because that tells me that it's not all just about knee-jerk reaction. That tells me some actual thought is taking place. And it's going to jump again today. Because when Speaker Ryan, not that I'm any friend of Speaker Ryan's, but when he called for a moment of silence in remembrance of the victims of the Orlando shooting at the Pulse nightclub, some Democrats got up and left the chamber. You want to make a point? That's what Congress is for. You go make a point. I get it. But that wasn't the point to make. That just proves you're an idiot. That doesn't prove you're committed to a cause. That proves you're an idiot. It proves you're a compassionless punk. And if I lived in a district where those people came from, I'd be telling everybody I knew, oh, by the way, did you know that was this one, or did you know that was that one? That's not standing up for something. That's falling down for something. Well, now I hope you have the decency to fall on your sword and admit to your constituency and the rest of America what you did was idiotic. We're going to have to do something. Islam itself, if it's such a peaceful religion, why isn't there peace in the Middle East? Islamo-fascists, Islamo-terrorists, ISIS, ISIL, Boko Haram, Hezbollah, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, Muslim Brotherhood, Arab Spring, all these other, I don't know, name all the ones you want, are a problem. They live a 7th century lifestyle. I shouldn't say that. They live in a 7th century culture. We live in the 21st century. Now, that's only 14 centuries different. We're 2/3 of a timeline away from them. If this was a kid in 6th grade, he'd get left back when we graduate in high school. This is not, Sharia law has no business in a civilized society. Oh, I know they gave us arithmetic. They gave us the zero. They gave us pi. They gave us, all this wonderful scientific stuff. Yeah, when? 10 centuries ago? What have they done for us lately besides kill a whole bunch of people? Oh, the Christians killed Muslims. Please. Again, 10 centuries ago? And even at that, when we, as people of the rest of the planet, stopped killing them, whether you're Christian, whether you're, Christian, heathen, pagan, whatever, stopped killing them, they kept on killing. And they're still killing. And they're burning people alive, and they're cutting their heads off, and they're torturing little girls, and they're come on. You can't justify this to me anymore. Not at all. Well, secularized Muslims aren't like that. Yeah, well, you know what? Secularized Muslims aren't any different than secularized Jews or secularized Christians. They're just people going to work in the morning. My issue is with the ones that are not secularized. And this is, what day is it? Today's Tuesday. This all happened Saturday night, right? Have you seen a huge major hue and cry about this, cried by the Muslim community, the CARE, or the Imam Council of America, or whatever group? I haven't. Why is that? We've had from both sides of the political spectrum people saying, "Oh, what a tragedy! Oh, what a shame!" Of course, the left wants to blame the gun. Because something? On the left's pecking order of victimhood, gays are beneath Muslims. That's how that plays. There are more preferred faction in the left's hierarchy than gays are. Which, sorry, I'm not gay, but if I was, I'd be a little salty about that. You know what I mean? Oh wait, I'm an American citizen. I'm this, I'm that. And these people, in all other parts of the world, and coming here is, they're all more important than I am. Especially if I was gay and a veteran, I wouldn't be happy about that. Left always wants to blame the damn gun. Let me tell you something. The day I go somewhere and this walks in the room all by itself, and starts shooting up the scenery all by itself, nobody around, just starts shooting, I'll change my opinion on guns. Until that happens, the only hands I want on that gun are mine. So if you've got a mind that you're going to take it, best bring a bigger one. Because you ain't getting it any other way. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Bullets first. I don't understand what the big, we got to have more gun control. Gun control laws would not have changed that. You know what would have changed that? Two things I can think of right off the top of my pin little head. First of all, had the plans we made in 2001 and in 2002 for interagency sharing of intelligence, that would have stopped it, because he would have never gotten hired as a security guard. He would have never gotten a gun. He would have never gotten his Florida carrying permit for a gun. If he had gotten a gun, it would have been illegally. But he had legal ones because the FBI didn't tell anybody. Oh, we interviewed him a couple of times. We didn't really find that much, but we did indeed interview him a couple of times as a person of interest. So something, maybe, just maybe, he should have been on a list. Oh, and he was unstable. According to family, he was unstable, and he wasn't on a list. Interagency communication would have stopped that cold. And if it didn't, because he went and bought a gun illegally or what have you, maybe, just maybe, a good guy with a gun. Gun-free zones are exactly that. Soft targets. He walked into it, they said, well, you know, it was a hate crime because he went and he killed all those gay people. Well, what if it was a conclave of nuns instead of gay people? Not necessarily as a party, just in a hotel, you know, ballroom somewhere and having a meeting. If he walked in, would it be a hate crime? No, of course not, because you can't commit hate crimes against Christians. Of course it'd be a hate crime. All crimes like that are hate crimes. Of course they are. He hated them. He went and he killed them. Does that mean he has to have a special court, you know, because it's a hate crime? No. It means he has to suffer. Well, he already did. I get that. But I mean, had he not been killed, there shouldn't be, oh, we're going to add an extra 5 years on his sentence. Oh, that makes me feel better. It's all baloney, this stuff. Oh, we need more legislation. No, we don't need more legislation. We've got more legislation than we know what to do with. As a matter of fact, so much more that we don't know what to do with, we don't do anything with it. It sits there. We don't need more legislation. We don't need more gun control. The only gun control that could have stopped that killing the other night was somebody who was able to control where the bullet left the gun to the point it blew his head open. That's the only gun control that could have saved that 50-some people the other night. Gun control, a steady hand and a clear eye. That's the kind of gun control that was needed. Now, I'm not advocating anybody to break any laws. I'm not advocating anybody to break any rules. I am advocating that if you're a lawful American citizen, go down, get your training, call your local NRA, or go on the NRA site. They'll send you exactly where you need to go. Get the training, get a gun, get a bunch of ammo, go down, learn how it feels, learn how to use it, get to the range, get some tri-fire, get some live fire, get the skills that you need to defend yourself and other people, and carry the damn thing. Now, if you don't live in an area where you can, and, you know, stuff like that, look, I'm not telling you to go out and break the laws. You know. But, oh, what can the government do to protect me? Nothing. Nothing. You honestly think there's any law that could have been passed, past, present, or future, that would have stopped the events of the other night? Nothing. Nothing. Full tilt boogie outright ban on firearms wouldn't do it. England still has gun crime. So does Australia. Oh, but you know, it's so much less. Doesn't matter. This still happens. Is that going to make, if you're the one who's a victim of a gun crime in England and he shoots you in the leg, is your leg going to hurt any less because the guns weren't legal? Would it hurt any more if it was legal? Are those people in Orlando, Florida, any less dead because the gun was legal than they would be if it wasn't? Get your skills, get your training, get your gun, even if it's not a gun. Look, oh, I don't like guns, so don't get a gun. In Maine, to carry a tin of mace or to carry a stun gun or something like that in a concealed fashion, you still need a concealed weapon permit. Well, now you don't, because we have constitutional everything. But even if it's just something like that, if you don't like guns, at least, look, what would a good square dose of pepper have done if that guy started pulling the trigger and you were next to him and you blasted him with pepper spray? All right, maybe he would have turned and fired and then you would have gotten killed. But how many other people wouldn't have if he couldn't see? How much damage suffering could have been reduced by a couple of well-placed taser darts? All he's got to go down for is what do they go down for? 5, 6, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, depending on the, where you hit him, how hard you hit him, what condition he's in, this and that. Still going to drop. If he drops long enough for you to get the gun away from him, could have saved a lot of people's lives. End gun-free zones. Now. End being gun-free. On your own. Because what can the government do for you? Not a goddamn thing. And God bless the United States of America.